So as you can see, we can actually start with this outside shape that we have, which is basically a square with rounded corners. Okay, so if you go inside the rectangle tool, if I press and hold, I should have something called rounded rectangle tool, right? So we're going to use this tool to create the first shape. Okay, so if I just draw now, you should see that we have very small rounded corners, right? So what we want to do is we want to change it. We can either do it from here, or before creating itself, we can go up here. You should see radius, where I'm going to give 100. So I made it 100 and I'm going to draw now. You can see that we have a bit bigger shape here. Now that's not enough for me. I want to make it bigger, so I'm going to give 150 here, so it becomes much bigger. But then we will see that I think I need to make it a bit more bigger, so we'll just keep the entire shape like that. Now if you want to give different angles or different distance for each of those corners, you can actually tick this off, and then you can manually change each of those corners. Okay, so I'm just going to create that. I'll give a color of green, so let me go inside RGB and pick a green. There you go. Now I want to make it a bit bigger. I'll press Ctrl T to make it bigger. Now you need to press Shift if you want to maintain the same proportion, if you have the older versions. I'm going to click OK there. Good, so that's our first shape. Now next thing that I want to create is I want to create the circle, right? Now unlike the previous one that we did, we actually had a circle outside and we had a circle inside. So we can simply duplicate the existing one. But in this case, we cannot duplicate this one. We need to create a circle separately. So I'll choose the ellipse tool and I'm going to draw a circle. Hold Shift to get the perfect circle. Now here's a challenge that we have. We don't exactly know that if these two objects are in the perfect center or not, right? So in that case, what we need to do is we need to do some alignment here. Okay, so make sure that you're in Move tool here and select both these layers, and now you should see up here we have some alignment tools, right? So what we want to do is we want to align them exactly to the center. So I can just click on this guy, so that aligns it horizontally, and I can click on this guy that aligns it vertically. So now you can make sure that both of those shapes are exactly in the same center point. So next thing that we want to do is we want to make one more copy to make the inside circle. So I'll choose the same ellipse and I can press Ctrl J, or I can click and drag onto this new layer. So that gets me something like that. Press Ctrl T once again and make it smaller. Hold Alt and Shift if you have the older version. So in my case it's just Alt. Okay, so I'll leave it there and press Enter to finalize the transformation. And we want to change the color. We can just double click here and you can choose a color from here. Now if you don't know exactly the green color that we want to choose, we can also go out here and pick the color from here. Okay, so that gives you the same exact color that we picked up. Click OK to finalize. Good. So now we need to create this little angle that you see here, right? So to do that, I'm going to use the pen tool here. Okay, make sure that you deselect whatever layers you have, choose the pen tool, make sure that you have shape selected, correct? So the fill color is white, that's fine. So let's just click here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we get something like that. Now we need to also have the same thing for the green color. So what I'll do is I'll actually duplicate this. This time I'll just click and drag and drop onto this new layer. And we have this Move tool. I'll just move this guy inside like so. Okay. Now if you don't know exactly to put him in the same place, we can just use the arrow keys to place him something like that. Okay. Now all I need to do is change the color, double click here and pick the color that we want. Click OK. It's not in the center, so I'll do a little like so. Easy? Okay. So you could just use other methods also. You can just create two rectangles and just try to place them in the right location to get the shape also, that's up to you. Now, the last part is this phone shape, phone receiver shape. So this one we can use the pen tool. So again, it's going to be white color, so I'll choose white color, and I will actually zoom in a bit to draw more precise movements. So I'll start from up here, so let's say 1, and then I can just click and drag, okay, and press Alt key to remove this. I'll just go up here, go down here, okay, press Alt, remove this, then let's try to get the same shape here, okay, remove this, go down here, like so, then like so, then finalize it here, okay, then one last right here, okay. So now you can add more number of points to make more details. If you want, you can just click here to add more point there, click here to add more point here, click wherever you want to add more points. Now the more points you have, the difficult it will be to modify them, and at the same time you can actually increase the quality of the drawing. So once you have finished that, you can also make further tweaks to choose by choosing the direct selection tool, and you can just click on these points and you can just reposition them as per your requirement, and we can actually make more tweaks like that. Just click this guy, make more tweaks like that. Okay, we can also zoom in, use the space bar to pan around to make different shapes. Now if you want to add more points here, so let's say I pressed Alt key to remove these anchor points from this, right? So if I want to add the anchor points back, I can also use the tool that is inside the pen tool, which you will see, convert point tool. So this tool will help us actually to add more points, add the anchor point back in. So just click and drag so that you basically get those anchor points back. If you want to remove any anchor points, you can also press just click on it, so that will just make it sharp corner. And if you want to add it back in, so we can do something like that. Okay, so click and drag, basically get the shape that you want, and you can further tweak it to make it longer or shorter. So once you're happy with the final result, just deselect everything and come out. So that is the end of the logo making.